Awkward silence.
Are we live? It's
Yes.
still setting up, it
It
says.
says recording live on YouTube.
Okay, let me just quickly get the link and I'll share it.
Zoe's Zoe's wearing a little bow. Very cute.
Cool. Okay, so I've shared the link with you guys on WhatsApp. I'm also sharing it with chat in case you want to send it out to every one of your family, friends, and everyone. You can do it. But yes, the recording will also be available later, so you can also do it later, right? First of all, thank you everyone for joining in, whoever is watching this on YouTube or any other platform. We have 4 out of the 5 wonderful puppies who we had in the latest batch of School of Pup. And we're going to talk a little bit about them. And we're also going to talk about their journey ahead, what they plan to do going forward. Oh, hi, Devsina. I can see Devsina again. So yes. To start off with, first of all, just talking a little bit about the School of Pup, and this is for everyone because we never really talked about why we started the School of Pup. I think it has all come from a place where we have personally experienced challenges as pet parents, right? Even though you can say that doctor is a professional, Karthik is a professional, that doesn't mean that, uh, we don't face the challenges that any other pet parent does. You can ask Shivani, you can ask me personally, the kind of stuff that we had to learn in the first 2 years of, for me personally, the kind of stuff that I had to learn, to raise Drogo was overwhelming in large parts. And as Polami was talking about earlier, there is a lot of information. The problem is not there's the lack of information, there's too much information. And the lack of structure actually makes us paralyzed, right? Because we do not know what to use when and how effective is this going to be, or how cheap is this, or how expensive is it. And we can't really plan for anything. So a lot of the focus that we wanted to put forth in the School Up program was on education and awareness, giving access to the tools, information, ideas, techniques, tactics that will help parents become a little bit more prepared when they're raising their pups, right? And when we say raising our pups, we never focus on commands. We don't think a sit or down or stay is what you call as training, and we don't even believe actually the word training, because at the end of the day, what we want our puppies is to become family members, right? And just to step back and imagine where you want a living being of another species to behave culturally, to behave biologically the same way as we humans do, it's not easy, right? They don't have the language tools for them to understand what we're trying to say to them. They don't know what the expectations are of them. They have no idea. And for us to impose on them all of these restrictions and boundaries, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of learning, right? And this is basically what our goal was, to help improve our lives with our puppies, achieve the goals that we set out to when we first got our pups, and all to do it in a manner that's a lot of fun, right? So that's really what School Up Up was all about. It's something that is very fulfilling for each one of us. Trust me, we do consults, we do workshops, everything that we do. We will probably be strict during classes, we'll be strict during homeworks. All of that aside, we just love our School Up Up, right? Like, because it's that one time of the day when you can sort of come together with all these puppies and, actually learn new stuff, right? And see the difference that it makes. Because, for puppies, we see the difference the fastest, right? What you teach today, you can see a difference within a week if you implement it right. And it gives us validation, like very quick validation. Okay, what we are doing is actually making a difference for parents and their pups. So it's something that we enjoy a lot as well personally. And that's why we do it. Unfortunately, Karthik is not on the call, but let me just introduce Dr. Tanaya. She's the veterinarian and looks after the medical aspects of all the education that we do on School Up. We have Shivani. Shivani is the lead trainer and she looks after all the stuff that people have to do after the School of Pup and during the School of Pup. So that means homework, that means feedback, that means just making sure that everything that we're talking and teaching is reinforced at home, right? So Shivani is really the key component of School of Pup that, makes every one of our parents, do whatever we ask them to do. Uh, but thank you so much for joining in, Shivani and Dr. Tanya. I'll ask you to speak as well. I also want to introduce the puppies to all of you, right? So we'll start with Kodo and Priya. Priya and Kodo are joining us from Kannur. Uh, Initially, when we spoke to Priya and Kodo, the journey had just started for them, and I think over the last 6-7 weeks. Oh, hi Kodo. Oh, he's already sleeping. And over the last 6-7 weeks, I think both Kodo and Priya have become a lot more comfortable with each other, a lot more sort of aware of each other's expectations and what they sort of want from each other. So that's something great, and we were able to do this online, which was also something that we were super proud of. So thanks, Priya. Thanks, Kodo, for joining in. We have Rati and we have Charlie. I think Charlie and Rati and Dia and Kaushik have been one of our most. Hi, Charlie. Look at his face. It's always smiling. So Rati and everyone and Charlie and everyone have been one of our most interactive parents on the group, I would say. They have been very vocal about the problems that they have had, but they have also been able to sort of go back and work on them, right? So that's very, very important for us. The fact that, from a place where, again, just as Priya, there was a little bit of friction between Charlie and the family members to today when they're so comfortable and, able to work together and be together more comfortably. That's really one of the biggest changes that we've seen. And that is also something that we are super proud of. Then we have Zoe. Zoe is there. Hi.
So he's on Rexona, but she's very sleepy.
Zoe is very sleepy, but I think Zoe has been and also Zoe Percy. Sorry,
Yes.
Zoe Percy and Binay have been very, very hands-on throughout the program, right? Like millions of questions, but those are important questions that everyone has, and all of these questions sort of are helpful not only to Zoe but also to all the other parents who are out there, right? Some of these questions we don't even think of. So it was so good, Percy, of you to sort of ask all these questions without any sort of inhibition, because a lot of times people have questions in the mind but they don't ask, right? And that what happens then is in the future when you have it, then you're stuck. So it's so nice of you. And I think in the last batch also we had Miss Chandrashri, was that sort of paragon of questions for everyone in the group. And I think that is the role that you fulfill, and it's so helpful for of you to do that. I think also with Zoe, we have to talk about the other primary member of the family, which is Kian, absolute superstar with dogs. I think he'll have a big future going forward in the pet space. I hope that that is considered a viable career option by the time you grow up, Kian, because that's definitely something you should consider. And finally, we have Devsena, and Devsena is very nicely dressed also in a little red frock. She seems to have got done with her chicken leg. But that's so pretty. So Polami and Naman join us from Gurgaon, which is again very far off, and we were so happy to have been able to help. But yes, with Devsena as well, there were so many different challenges, right? With Devsena, you had the challenges of a multi-pet household. You had the challenges of a very, very young puppy where she was very, very young when she came in. I think it was just about a week when we started working with Devsena for Polami and Naman. So it was so nice to have to see the progression that Devsena has made from them, right? Like gradual steps, but all steps in the right direction. And we are so proud of her as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. So it was so nice and lovely to have you. I will now ask Dr. Tanya and Shivani to say a few words.
Shivani, would you like to go first?
Oh, no, you can go ahead.
Okay, this is I miss Karthik in this moment. So Shobit always hands over and says, "One of you go first," and we just stare at each other blankly, hoping the other one will go. But I'm so grateful to be here and having such a batch of enthusiastic puppies. The fact that you guys have identified that you needed to know more before going ahead with this whole journey and taken the effort to learn so much about your puppies is amazing. These are things that we didn't do, and we kind of had to learn on the way. And I'm so proud of you for being the kind of parents that did that. That is amazing. So clapping for you guys over there. Thank you for joining in. I remember all of you right from the start. With Rati came in with Charlie was a little teddy bear. We were like, is this a dog? Is this a baby bear? We're not sure. Now he's huge. And all the problems you were facing. And I'm so glad that Dia is no longer scared of Charlie. I really hope you guys work on Charlie not being scared of Dia now. That's definitely not our goal over here. But yeah. I love that you guys have taken the effort to identify that your dog had a problem and changed your lives and turned your lives upside down to fix this problem. It's not something, I mean, it may be natural for you guys, but it's not something we see often. And again, I'm clapping for you over there also. With Zoe and her family, Kian has been amazing to watch, and I'm waiting like 10 years down the line when Karthik messages are saying, hey, guess who showed up at my store and wants to be a trainer, and it's going to be Kian with Zoe. So I'm waiting for that to happen. But you guys came in as super anxious parents. You didn't know how to handle things. And now you guys are sitting confidently with Zoe on the sofa. And that is mind blowing. I can't believe that you guys have gotten here. So really, really good. Dev Sena, I know that Palumi was already expert with raising Gatu, but amazing. Like you guys are taking so many proactive steps for Gatu. You guys have worked on building that bond. As someone who has two dogs who don't get along, it's amazing that you guys have made sure that, you know, there is harmony in your household. Yes, Shobhit.
And the fact that it's so difficult to raise two dogs together, right? We don't really appreciate it a lot of the time, but it is really, really difficult. Like
Yes.
every time someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, I have a dog and he's getting bored. Should I get another dog?" I just make them sit down and speak to them for 2 hours to say, "No, that's not a good idea." So it's really challenging. And even after that, to make the time and effort to sort of attend classes and to work on the homework, really good work.
So that's something I really appreciate about you guys. And the fact that even before you got DD, you were involved in learning about Cocker Spaniels. This goes for even Percy and Benaifer. You guys took the effort to learn about the breed of dog you guys are getting home. And that is again something that we really believe here at the pack. And you guys have done it without any pushing. You guys have come forward and done it yourselves. I think I remember Palumi showed a picture of Didi before she got her, and that's how I remember. And we asked everyone to come on screen, and Palumi had a picture of Didi on the screen, which is amazing. With Priya and Kodo, Priya, amazing job. I'm so glad that you no longer feel overwhelmed. I love watching Kodo's video. She just put up a video of Kodo running around in the garden and digging in the dirt, and that is how a dog should be. And I'm so proud of you for allowing him to be that way, and knowing that you're, you know, want to be in control and letting that control go is also amazing. So very proud of all of you. Good
Also,
job.
the fact that I think personally we resonate the most with Priya because she's doing it all on her own, which a lot of us have. So we know how challenging and tough that is, right? Like suddenly your life becomes everything about a dog because you don't have any other support structure. Like you will have to plan your work times around them, you have to plan your leaves around them, you have to plan your travel around them. Really nice. Not to get overwhelmed is not easy, Priya. So it's really nice that you're not. Shivani, your turn.
Okay, so doctor elaborated very well about like every pet puppy. So I'm not gonna get into it, but I would like to say that seeing the fact that you guys joined in and wanted to learn and understand more and not just expect that the puppy should behave a certain way and just fit in. You took the time to understand and get to know your puppy, which is awesome. And all the 60, 70, 80% of progress that you're seeing so far, it would have been very difficult to even reach there if you guys did not actually go and implement it back home. Like here, we will keep talking, we'll try our best to make you understand how your dog is working and everything. But to go back and implement and then see the progress is like, it feels really fulfilling for us to even see that. So during this program, I think we all, I'm pretty sure everyone has certain issues we still all want to be working on. But what I hope is with this course, it has enabled you to have that sort of a communication bond where you understand your puppy and you have the tools to communicate and get to know. So you'll always, even further, it's very natural. You'll have issues where your dog is behaving a certain way now, this age, and they have this issues to deal with. But I really hope that from now you can understand. It's not like, oh, it's just a bitey dog or it's just an aggressive dog. You approach it with much more understanding that, oh, my dog is behaving because of this, and this is how I'm going to tackle it. So you have the tools to this, and then again, it's gonna really define your relationship. It's gonna make it more organic, where you're coming up with solutions yourself because you understand your dogs. So that is all. I really hope you got away with this program. And yeah, we're always, again, if you come up with anything issues, we're always here as always. But yeah, it's really good to know that you guys, and I can see as someone who collected the homeworks and seeing from where we are in the question answers, seeing from where we were to like where you are right now, it's just like it's just like it's your puppy's congratulations. But like I feel so happy and like, you know, accomplished at this point. So yeah, you're on mute.
He's also been able to join in for a few minutes, so we'll wait for him to set it up. And then he can speak a few nice words also about your puppy. But I think very importantly, as Shivani has said, this is a journey. right? There is no end point on this journey. There is nowhere that we say, okay, we have achieved it and we stop now. It's a process. The whole idea of parenting is not about just, happy that, okay, my dog has reached a certain level and now I can have my hands off it. The process of parenting is a journey that will keep on going. You will face challenges, but the hope was always that now you have the tools to sort of think about these challenges and work on them on your own, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you can always ask for feedback. It's not that you will know answers to everything, but as long as you can think of it from the perspective of your puppy and think of why these problems are arising, rather than, sort of put the blame on other things, just think of it from the puppy's perspective and think about why your puppy is doing something and not doing something that you want them to do. If that is a mindset that you have cultivated during the 6 weeks, then we feel that we have achieved what we want, right? It's about the confidence also, to have the confidence in your own ability to be self-sufficient. That's about, you puppies could be graduating with a little bit of toilet cleaning problem. No worries. We are just confident that you will solve it on your own, right? So Karthik, you want to say a few words about all the puppies? I know I'm putting you on the
Yes.
spot as soon as you joined.
Oh, no. That's okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm a little late, but I have so much to share, but only a few moments to do that. So I'll try to keep it as uh, concise as possible. So, first of all, congratulations. You guys have all done such an amazing job. And, I think you've already realized that this course is so much more for you than it is for your puppies. And that's how it's always going to be, right? Because there's not too much we need our dogs to change, right? Our dogs are already perfect the way they are. But sometimes for them to adjust into our lives, we need to kind of make a few amends, put in that extra effort. And I think all of you have done so good at that. And, it takes a lot to be able to do that, to be able to put down your, I would say, your notions. You may have had sleepless nights. Some of the exercises that you do for the training require you to really step out of your comfort zone, which is a big deal. And I think dogs teach us that skill throughout our lives. And it helps us change. It makes us better people. And you guys have done such a good job. It's been a pleasure to do these sessions with you. And I think someone would have already brought this up before, but it's become a mini family of sorts, right? I find myself scrolling, down that group and seeing all those videos that you've sent, and it's so nice to watch. It's almost, there's a personal element to it. So when any of your puppies does something great, we have a sense of gratification.
Oh,
We
yeah.
feel so good about it, and
Huge.
so much gratification, which is why we want to be involved in their lives going forward as well. And just because we're done with this batch doesn't mean we've kind of just finished. And Shobit just mentioned now, right? Training isn't something that ends. It's not something that, hey, I finished my dog's completely trained. Again, training isn't the word we prefer, but that process of relationship building goes on for the entirety of your puppy's life, and you need to enjoy it. So weaving this process into your day-to-day life is what this is all about. Don't stop what you've learned today. I'm sure you'll advise 10 other people, and you'll make it work for 10 other people. Don't stop doing it with your puppy. Make it a part of their life. Make it fun. Go back to the first session when we spoke about understanding your dog and how that's important throughout your entire journey. And I think that's about it. So much more to say, but I'm just trying to kind of keep it light.
No, super. Thanks, Karthik. Now we'll just have a few words from the parents themselves. We're not going to talk about the feedback of the program live, because that's something that we keep it between us. Unless it's very good, then we'll put it somewhere. But we are just going to talk a little bit about our own puppies. And now that we have progressed in the 6 weeks, let's talk about what you want to do in the next 1 or 2 years. And maybe what is a good idea for you to do is talk about this today, come back in 3 months, see where you are at, then come back in 3 months again, see where you're at. It's a promise that you're going to make to yourself, right? More than anything else. And just keep that as a reminder that you're going to constantly work with your dogs. Because as Karthik said, and I think Shivani and Dr. Tanaya has also said, the fact that, your parenting is the most wonderful thing about having a dog, right? Like, it's not just that you have the dog and keep them in a corner and they're comfortable eating and we are comfortable eating. No, I mean, it's just the fact that you'll work with them on these things is what is going to bring the most joy to all of you. So let's talk about these things. What are these things that we're going to work on? Anyone wants to go first? I'm not going to ask anyone. Whoever has the best idea of what you're going to do with with your puppies going forward? Please, let's start. I see Rati. Yay!
Obviously,
Yes.
Rati first. It happens.
No, very happy that for this one you went first, Rati. Please, let's hear it.
Okay, first of all, like Karthik said, we feel like family. In fact, I was telling Shobit last Wednesday when we didn't have the training, we were like, something's missing at 8 o'clock. So we'll
You could have
definitely-
just trained. You could have, like, that 1 hour, you could have just worked with Charlie on your own.
we did, but we wanted you guys to give us the instructions.
So what do you
Anyway.
want to do in the next 1 or 2 years with Charlie?
Charlie already is a major part of the family. So Dia's brother, that's what she calls him. So in the next 2 years, we want him to be wherever we are. You know, whether we are traveling to a mall or outside on the road or going for a trip, we want Charlie to be a part of our life. There's no day that we don't wake up thinking of what Charlie is doing. So that's what we want him to be, an integral part of our life. A well-behaved puppy. I've seen a lot of golden retrievers per se that walk with their owners and they're so well-behaved. They just are so calm and composed. That's what I want him to be, a level-headed dog. That's what I want him to be, and fit into the family. He's already fit into the family, but you know, be a part of us throughout his life. That's what we look at, and
Fantastic.
that's about it. So that's the vision we have for Charlie with us.
Super. So maybe that when one day when we are walking by your place and visiting some nearby eatery or mall, we'll see you and Charlie sitting there already.
Oh, they're already planning.
No, so happy. And I think the moment that for me personally stood out with Rati, Charlie, Kaushik and Dia was when we had the exam day last weekend, right? And to see the enthusiasm with which Dia and Rati were like, Charlie, let's do this, Charlie, let's do that. It was a lot of times I felt, oh my God, is Charlie like listening to Dia? Is Charlie listening to Rati?
I
He was
think that
listening to
happens
somebody.
in all three of us because all three of us are giving instructions. Charlie's like, who the hell do I listen to? So,
Yeah, so I mean, Charlie was listening, right? Like the fact is that he was listening to someone. We're not sure who, but definitely listening to someone. And-
Shobit, I think I've started speaking to him in Malayalam as well sometimes, saying, go look
Oh, that's
for,
very good.
Go
Yeah,
look for Kaushik. I can't find him when he's very busy going and searching for Kaushik in different rooms. So we have a woman-to-man conversation. So that's how we've progressed.
very nice, very nice. I don't know what Charlie is asking for in Malayalam to you, but I'm sure he's also trying to. Super. Thank you so much, everyone. Who's next? Who wants to go next?
I think
Okay.
Rati has
Sorry, Priya will come to you next.
Yeah.
and I just echo whatever she has said, and we hope to be there. I feel that Cocker Spaniels are a little bit of a more challenge than Golden Retrievers in
We
terms
didn't know what we
of
were bringing in when we got
in terms of listening to their owner.
Why do you think they're a challenge in general?
I feel that they in the terms of their obedience levels and listening and not rebelling, I feel that they are a little more.
Basically, what Percy is trying to say is they're a lot more notorious than Golden.
Yeah. You know, once in the Cocker Spaniel training, you had said something which really resonated is that they're little nutcases, which they are. So after
They're the
all,
biggest one at home.
yes, we realized that she's a little nutcase, but she's our little nutcase, so we love her.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but
So what do
exactly,
you want to do with him?
she's
With her?
already a part of the family. We try to include her in wherever we go, whatever we do. And going forward, we just want that to be better. And just as and what Rati said, that little more well-behaved. So she's like, it's easier for us to take her out and do everything else with her.
We would
So
prefer to leave her at home as fewer
times as possible. So if we have to go out
That
somewhere,
would
she
be the
comes
goal.
with us. And if she's better behaved, of course, so it's much easier for us also to have her in the car or take her out to somewhere outside for a restaurant or even take her for longer drives, you know, like just now we went 1.5 hours. Our aim is so that she travels much more, like with us, even 5-6 hours or something. So we gradually plan on
24 hours to Bombay.
Yes, if we have to go to Bombay, then we can't go by plane anymore. So we have to take her by car with us. So that's a very long journey. So we want to gradually build it up with 1.5 hours, 3-4 hours. So that's what we are planning over the next few months now, how to increase that her threshold of sitting in and staying in the car. So
Marvelous. I think I think Zoe will love it as well, right? As much as
And I definitely see that happening for all the puppies here.
Yeah.
Travel and just with your mere approach and how you're taking things forward, it's something you will be doing very soon. And I hope to see you guys do it soon as well with your dogs.
Yes. And travel to Bangalore. Huh? All of you who are not in Bangalore, you can bring your puppies with you. But that's so nice to see. I think there's no one moment, I think, but the one that particularly stood out was when we saw the impulse control exercise with Percy. I mean, we have to say that was the first time that we saw how Percy is technically as a father, but that also showed so much enthusiasm, right? Like, it's not easy to let go of your inhibitions and sort of show that kind of enthusiasm.
Pretty much little amused, but fundamentally, if it wouldn't have worked with Zoe if that intensity wasn't there. That little mid intensity doesn't work with her. It has to be really intense.
I know what you're saying, Percy. And to be honest, it is not normal for us to see that kind of enthusiasm in parents, let alone parents in trainers. Karthik is known for his nose, but the fact that he's known for his nose, that could tell you that a lot of other trainers cannot get that intensity. And when I saw Percy, I was like, oh my God, am I seeing Karthik for the first time? Because it was that good.
In fact, Percy, I still show that video and Charlie will scare you with it.
Percy made up for the fact that my throat was bad this time. He kind of did a perfect demo.
Yeah, it was absolutely hands-on perfect. Like the way you banged the floor and your body gesture was very similar to a experienced trainer, which was so nice to see. But that just shows you, right? A lot of times, because of our communication with dogs is so it is impeded because of lack of words. Our emotions and our body language is what communicates the most to them. And for you to have that kind of ability to communicate that very clearly is rare, and I think that is really going to help you going forward, Percy. So really nice to see that.
I feel that Zoe listens the most to Percy only. So definitely.
Just wait till Kian grows up. Wait till Kian grows up, and I think now we know where Kian gets it from. Also, guys, come to Bombay and don't meet me. I'm going to be very upset.
Certainly.
Karthik, you were saying something.
No, I said Kian, amazing. He was a natural. Right from that first video that I saw him doing luring, I'm like, what I mean, we didn't
Guys,
even
by the way, we
explain
don't do this, huh? When we're saying Kian is natural, he really is, because we've seen a lot of young ones work with dogs. They're very enthusiastic about it. Yeah, there he is.
Hi.
They're very enthusiastic about it. Dia is very enthusiastic about working with Charlie, and now a lot of kids are naturally better than us as parents. But even within kids, like we saw Kian being a little bit, very, very nice. So it's
Karthik, Dia takes online classes with Charlie sitting next to her. He doesn't touch pencil. Math.
Dia has been an absolute transformation.
Yeah. I think Karthik can talk about it.
Dia is a total
transformation.
Yeah, I think that's a big jump, because when I went to meet Charlie, I met Dia as well. Dia was very scared of Charlie, and I said, hey, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. And the next time I saw her in an online session, she's doing her stays and all of that so fluently and giving instruction on point to Charlie. Yeah. So huge change. If she's there, I mean, really hats off to you, Dia. Really good.
Just on
it is wonderful.
Okay.
So.
It is wonderful. We'll probably have a school of pup where we only have puppies and kids at some point.
Yeah, we should have
a lot of fun.
Are you planning to have a socialization, probably, or a physical socialization next month or in the coming months?
Sometime. Whenever Karthik is back, we'll definitely plan. We will plan for it to be a regular activity amongst our school of pups for sure. Because it's a very important thing that needs to happen. It's even the first batch that we did it once. It's not that we'll stop at once. We'll again do it. We will add you to the group so that you guys also get to know each other's puppies a little bit. So then next time, maybe when we are doing socialization, you can also intermingle with other batches, right? So, but it will always.
Shobit, where you conducted that?
It was near the Urban Pet. It was a place called Platinum Paws Paradise.
Oh,
yes.
Nice place, very nice place.
Yes, it was a nice place.
Kian had a show and tell in his school online classes. He showed Zoe and spoke about Zoe in that. So it was all exciting for all children, and including Kian and Zoe being in the class together.
Would have loved to see that. Thanks. Share a video if possible. Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
No worries. No worries. Okay. Next to Priya, and then we'll close with Polami. Priya, your turn.
So I'm really looking forward to a vacation, and so
With
automatically
or without Kodo?
with Kodo, definitely
With
with
Kodo.
Kodo. I can't imagine going anywhere without him. And how I see now, I have to like look for spaces maybe around here. First, that's open enough. A friend was mentioning a farmhouse. So yeah, this is like the immediate goal. And yeah, this is, I don't know, I want like balance between like a lot of fun and space and running out and all of that, and then like times to slow down and yeah, be a calm puppy as well. Yeah.
I think Kodo will love it. Kodo, as we can see from the video, he's a naturally outgoing puppy. He loves his time with the mud and the sand and the car and everything that you're doing with him. So I can imagine when you do take him out for a vacation, it'll be something. Yes, Rati, we'll just sort of quickly do it. Yes, when you do take him out for a vacation, I think he'll be the happiest, even happier than you. And he'll probably end up doing so many things. But I think as a parent also, Priya, you have let Kodo be a dog, right? It's not like you have asked him to be too much of a human being and not put too many expectations on him. So that is also something that Kodo would love, because Indies naturally are dogs that like to have their own space.
Yeah.
They like that balance between mollycoddling them and giving them space. And that's something that works perfectly for you and Kodo. And I think
Yeah, and I noticed that he's also giving me a lot of space, like when I'm on Zoom calls and all. He really, I don't know, he's very intuitive this way. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are also one of the smartest. They are definitely not like Cocker Spaniels, I would say. Indies are one of the smarter ones.
Shobit roamed around telling everybody that Drogo is not very smart, but we've met Drogo now and he's extremely smart.
But thank you so much, Priya. It's so nice to also have you. I think as a pair, you guys work so well together, complement each other's skill sets. It's so nice to see, right? Like, we do feel that going forward, it will be something that will become even better for you and Kodo together. So we look forward to that. And we hope to see a lot of videos also going forward. Thanks.
Love the page, by the way. Love Kodo's Instagram page. He's always up to something.
Sorry. Shivani, you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying how I absolutely love Kodo's page. He's always on some adventures. It's so fun to see. So please keep doing that. Please keep updating us with his adventures.
For sure. Thanks.
Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I just want to say a word of thanks and leave. I know I'm not listening to Didi's speech, but then I will catch up on the YouTube link that you're going to share.
No problem.
Thank you and big hugs to all of you. We are a part of Packin, and we're not going to stop troubling you. Whenever there's a query, I'm going to put it in the group, and I'm hoping for one of you to answer it. All you pet parents, please share your experiences. We will keep sharing yours, and we're always there for each other because we're growing up together. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks, Rati, for joining in. We'll also wrap up in a few minutes. But yes, now to one of the stars of our batch, right? Devsena. I think she has been one of the cutest puppies that we have worked with, especially that little sort of frog that she's wearing today. So
sleepy now. She's also had enough now. She's eaten her chicken feet. She's licked on the peanut butter that I spread on the table.
I've had this dress for too long now. Let's get done with it.
Like
but yes,
the elegant princess eating the chicken foot. It's quite a contrast.
But yes, so what's your plan, Polami and Naman? What do you see for Devsena in the near future?
We have a lot of plans for her. The first thing that we want to start doing, I think we'll probably start this week only. We want to start taking her to cafes around. We've been doing that with Ghatotkaч for a while now. And he always enjoys those outings so much. We also want to start doing that with Devsena. We definitely want to take trips. We want to be able to travel with her. This is something that we haven't been able to do with Ghatotkaч as much as we would have liked to. But we are looking at a trip to our parents' place in Lucknow, road trip with both the dogs in November. And Naman and I were just planning that out. And we're just so excited to be able to do that. At some point, maybe 2-3 years down the line, we might end up getting another dog. So we would be really excited to see how both Ghatto and Didi kind of interact with this new dog. That is like something that is in plan. Naman and I have a very clear retirement plan. We are just going to have a farm with lots of dogs.
I'm already curious about all your dog names.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sure the next one is going to be another.
Really, really interesting, I promise. With
I'm
this
sure next one is
we
also
had
going to
a
be a pop culture icon.
yeah, definitely has to be. With this
Has
one,
to
we were
be.
very sure if it's going to be a male, we're going to name him Amarendra. Otherwise, it's going to be Devsena.
We're sticking with Bahubali.
Yeah, this one had to be come from Bahubali because we've been obsessing over those names for a while now. But yeah, we'll find more interesting pop culture suitable names. But definitely, we are looking at, we not just consider both Ghatotkaч and Devsena to be a part of our family, but they are like little pieces of our heart. And everything that we do, everything that we plan for in our life, these two have to have their space. And I think that is something that we are working to create, this space where, like all of us can just have good times as a family, where we don't have to leave her behind. We don't have to also with Ghatotkaч, I think like my sister and I have had this a lot because we were growing up when he was a dog. So he was a puppy. So there were a lot of things that we could not choose at that point of time to do, like having visitors over who would be like, isko kamre mein kar do. We are definitely looking forward to making those boundaries very, very clear regarding she is a family member. You adjust to her. She's not going to adjust to you. So yeah, these are about a few things that we plan to do with her and both of them.
Super. Lovely. I think constantly throughout these sessions, while we have been working with Devsena, it's also been so nice to have Gatto make guest appearances every now and then, barking at Devsena. Done with your school, come let's play or something like that. Because there's so many instances where Devsena was occupied learning, but Gatto was like, no. Where is Devsena? I need Devsena to play with him.
The day of her exam, he just came like before Karthik even said that you must bring Ghatotkaч. He was already there. It was like something is happening, must see.
No, but it's so nice to have you all. I think it's so nice to have Naman as well, right? The fact that Naman has sort of learned so much. I hope that you have learned, Naman. I'm not sure. I didn't hear from you. Any words that you have?
No, you on this. And everything.
Thank you so much. I think Zoe is also. Oh, sorry. Didi. Oh my God, what's happening to my name? Sorry, my bad. Didi is also just telling Naman about how much she appreciates Naman being there on the class, right? So thank you so much again, guys, for joining in. Doc, Shivani, Karthik, if you want to add anything before we sort of say the final words.
Shivani?
No, I think we've said enough, and we just look forward to how your journey is going to be, and we would love to continue to be a part of it. And yeah, nothing else. I think we've had a good long conversation. Doc?
Please guys and all your stuff. If you guys put up social media pages for your dog, we definitely want to see more content. We would love to see them growing up. I mean, they've already grown up. They were little, I don't know, very tiny little babies when we started, and it's only been 6 weeks, but they've all doubled, tripled in size. So yeah, would love to see how they look when they're older, how they turn out, how you guys handle it. Please do share. I don't think our journey ends here.
Super. Karthik, do you have any words?
Yes, totally agree with what Dr. and Shivani said. and really looking forward to seeing your puppies grow. Going to be awesome. Remember, puppyhood comes only once. Enjoy it while you're doing all of this. Don't forget to enjoy all those small naughty moments, because you may not get too much of it after a while. But yes, it's our role to make sure our puppies can enjoy a lot of freedoms going forward, right? So that responsibility is on us, and let's do full justice to that. And I think all of you are already taken a brilliant first step, and I'm sure you'll continue doing that. And yes, we're always there to help. We're always backing you. We're right by your side. So don't worry at all.
Super.